Hey guys, just Forsaken Reality here with the 11th episode of the Remnant tutorial series. In this episode, we're going to be setting up multiplayer spine rotation for up and down. So basically, when we look up and down, we'll be able to move our spine and part of our torso. You can see without our weapon aim, it's not doing the arms so much, but when we aim, starts taking control of the arms. And if we pull up our client, oh, it's not even our player. So we run over here, we have rotation replicating. So yeah, you can shake your head yes to people. So yeah, without further ado, we will get into setting this up in our project. So the first thing we're going to do is open up our character blueprint. And in here, we're going to select our camera boom. We're just going to attach that to our character mesh. And move that up like that. And then we're actually just going to search for the socket. And you find your head socket and attach to that. Unless your camera gets tossed over here. If you simply just adjust your location. Now your camera's over here. And we're actually going to change this to 70. And on our mesh, you want to scroll down and ignore camera. It's already done there. So compile and save that. That was just one quick fix with the camera we needed to fix. So now when we click play, it feels more in the right position. Rifle isn't spawning for some reason. But apparently my master weapon, range weapon reset for some reason in this project. Don't know why. So we'll open this up. Let's go to our master weapon and set a default rifle there. And there we go. I'll fix that. And if we open it up in our main screen, this is what you'd be playing in an actual game. You'll notice that your camera is in a better position now. Well, I think so. You can always change that however you want. This is my setup that I decided to do. And also attaching it to the head will make it so that when you rotate up and down, it won't, and we have our head rotating, the camera will slightly make its movement with the head instead of, so it won't give an odd position of us feeling like the camera's not properly centered with our character anymore. Now that we have those basic little things done, gonna go to our input graph. First, we're gonna go to our replication graph. And over here, we're gonna create a custom event. It's gonna be server spine rotation X. Because if you go to your viewport and you just select anything and you click the rotation, you'll notice that the x-axis is up and down. So like this direction, obviously we're not going to want a whole spine going up and down like that, but that's just showing you why we're using the x-axis. And we're going to create another custom event. Multicast spine rotation. And we're going to set this multicast reliable, server reliable. put the default field of view into the aiming. Or maybe the camera. Makes more sense in there maybe. But, create a new variable called spine rotation X. We'll make this a rotator, and I'll just put a tooltip up / down spine rotation. So now, like, for example, when you hover this up, you can see up, down, spine rotation. You can see the comment that we left on there. And we're going to set this on right here. And we're going to split this because we only want our X rotation. The reason I'm specifically doing X rotation and not just doing spine rotation, because maybe I think we might put in so like our upper body can slowly rotate before it starts doing its foot rotations. See how when we get to that point, how we're going to deal with that exactly. We just have it so the feet rotate the whole time. It might rotate the upper body on the y-axis or the z-axis. Multicast spine rotation X, and then just simply plug that in there. Just fix up that naming to something not so odd. There we go. I have this server replicated spine rotation X. And we'll uncomment that, or uncheck the bubble. We'll put that in the movement, like that. Okay, so now that we have our spine rotation done, we'll go to our input. And this should also work on any project, by the way, because we're not actually interfering with anything that's specific to this project. But now we want to go and find our mouse rotation and our lookup, because we're going to be looking up and down, and we're going to not going to drag this. Actually, yeah, we're going to drag. Let's drag it of her. Server spine rotation X. And we'll just get control rotation instead. This way. We'll split this so that we can get our X. And the way we're going to do this, drag this out a little bit. We're going to get our Y axes, multiply this by a float. We'll change this to -1. I'll flip the axes. And we're going to set this to x-axis here. So you're gonna make sure it's the y-axis you're getting you're us getting and multiplying by -1, and then setting it to your x-axis. Comment this. And we'll fill that in like that. put that in there. So I'm also going to comment this sprinting. Notice there wasn't a comment on it. And there. Now we have our movement all set up and it's setting the spine rotation. Now we can save all, save selected, blueprints. Go back to your animation blueprint. Now we are going to send that variable to our character, to our animation blueprint. So from here, we'll get our spine rotation variable and we'll promote that. It should name that for you. And we'll just simply plug that in like that. There we go. Now our spine rotation is in here. So I'm going to comment this, or give this category, put these in here. And we'll put the aiming in with our weapons. It's to do with our weapons. Now we have our variable in here. We have a little bit of organization done. We're going to go to our, just going to close out of some of these things. I'm going to go to our anim graph. And in our anim graph, we are going to do a few things here. First being, we're going to hold Alt and click the break that connection. We're going to type in save cache pose. This is going to be our locomotion cache. Comment that locomotion state. Motion state machine. I'll break that. And from here we'll get locomotion state cache. Plug that in like so. Or no, not like that. We will drag it out of there and create another save cache. And this is going to be final pose. Next sets up your final pose before sending it to play. Your animation's right here. So this will do like final blending, like your breathing animations and stuff is in there for now. We're going to want to space this up here because we're going to have a little bit to do here. Okay, first we'll do the unaimed. So we'll get our locomotion cache. Transform, modify bone. Plug that in and it should create your local component right there. We get our spine rotation. Plug that in like so. I'm going to promote this to a variable. That'll be our rotation alpha. we'll use this variable to basically adjust how much these affect our bones. So depending on the value here, so a 1 would be, it would do the full rotation, 0.4 would get part of the rotation value, so it wouldn't fully bend it too much, overly bend it basically. So we have this one, and can get rid of this and this. So now we only have these, like there, like so. And the bone we're going to transform here will be the head. And for the rotation, we will add the rotation values to the currently existing rotation of the component space. And we're going to create another just going to plug this into there so I can get this. Like so. So I have the local to component and the component to local. Saved. Save cache pose. And this will be our spine rotation X. Underscore pose. And I'm just testing this right now. So we can delete this spine rotation X. Oops. We'll use this cache pose. And now we should be able to rotate our head. And no, we cannot rotate our head. Should be sending that over. Update graph. Oh, I think I know this. No, it's not the problem. It isn't properly feeding the rotation value to our animation blueprint. So I'll see why that's doing that. And I think I found that. So we want to go into our master character, into our input graph, with our lookup down axes, and plug this in right here. I think I missed that. Now our axes are adjusting, and we only have the head moving very slightly, so you can't actually see it in this. Just notice that, but it is moving. And I'll show you that with some other bones as we add the rest of them in. Become easier to see what's exactly going on there. So I'm just going to break that and move this up. And paste this right here. And for this one's going to be the spinal one. Let's see what we can... Just for testing purposes. Yeah, now you can see this, things are starting to get more bendy. Because we really need to do it unaimed and aimed. I can remove this print string from there now. Yeah, see, I'm looking down, I'm looking up. But we're still going to need to blend a few more bones to make that a bit better. So we will grab the... we will grab this Spino 1 and simply change that to Spino 2. And now we're overly bending. The reason for that is because we're actually going to want to split this. Instead of 4 and 4, it'll be 2 and 2. Normally you want this to add up to be 1, but if it doesn't, it still works nicely. There we go. Just gonna test this out for Spino 2. So you can play around with those variables if you really want to, and you can actually get a, maybe you'll get a different one. You can try blending other bones the way I did in this one. Maybe you'll get a better look. Who knows? Now we want to do our upper body. Or aiming. So to determine if we're aiming, we will get our aiming boolean right here. Blend pose by bool. So if we are not aiming, it will do this one. And if we are aiming, we'll do another one. We can actually copy this and paste it up here. So it's identical for now. But there's a few more things we're going to want to change about this. Change this to Spino 3. I'm going to change this to Spino 2. Spino 1. And 2. 2. 2. This back one, because we're going to want to copy this one more time. Or actually 2 more times. And in here we're going to be the clavicle L and clavicle R. And the rotation amount on these ones are going to be 3.3. Like so. There we go. Now it has a check for aiming or not. Separate these a little better. Aimed and unaimed. Just like that, I believe we are finished. Yep. Now we can shoot up, we can shoot down. Can't hit herself by the looks of it. Nope. So that'll be good there. We're actually going to go into our viewport. And we're going to move our player 20 back to the back of the capsule. I think that's how much I moved him. Yeah, 20. So that he's standing at the back of our capsule. That won't fix things yet. But we'll look into further fixing this issue so we don't poke into the wall. But for now, we got a little bit farther away from the wall and we're closer to the wall when we're backing up. So it feels more real there, I guess. So that's going to be everything for this episode. If you found this video helpful and want to see more, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on any new tutorial uploads. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, feel free to leave those in the comments section below, or join our community Discord server, which has been growing pretty well lately. We just hit over 200 members. So if you want to come there and help out with some other people's problems, maybe show off what you did, feel free to do that. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next episode.